advise the members that the mics that we have improvised are live all the time, so be careful what you say when you think the mic is off. And I imagine that's true down there as well. First, I want to welcome our two witnesses, and they'll be introduced a little bit later. But once again, apologize to everybody for the inconvenience. I apologize to myself because nobody likes to be inconvenienced. But it looks like we have a system set up here that we can pursue with our hearings. And without objection, all members' opening statements will be made part of the record. The chair notes that some members may have additional questions for this panel, which they may wish to submit in writing. Without objection, the hearing record will remain open for 30 days for members to submit written questions to these witnesses and to place their responses in the record. Also, I would like to emphasize at this time that this hearing deals with a very complex matter, and it's a large amount of material, and therefore written questions I'm sure will be followed up. So I ask for as much cooperation as you can give us, because there are times when questions are sent in and they sort of get lost, but because there's so much and it's complicated, and now our time looks like it's going to be shortened, we may have to depend a whole lot on our written questions. So we ask for your cooperation there. But I will go ahead with an opening statement and offer time for anybody else who wants to have an opening statement. Pardon me? Yeah, I'll give mine first. Okay. Yeah, we haven't done that yet. But I want to emphasize that these hearings I consider very, very important. They've come about because of many things that's happened over the last few years. There's been a lot of movement in the country for more transparency in general, as well as with the Federal Reserve System, and I think my position on this is fairly well known. But also, there's been legislation passed. The Dodd-Frank bill has stipulations about more information coming to us by that legislation passed last year. There's also been the court cases that has required under the Freedom of Information Act, and we'll be dealing with a lot of that today. And also the provisions in the law that was language that was put in by basically Senator Sanders that has required some additional information. But, what is referred to today so often on hearings and the materials that came out of the Freedom of Information Act is called the dump. And I find that rather interesting to call it that, because it sounds like, a lot of material was dumped. And when you think of 29,000 pages of technical information, it is very, very large, and a lot of people have been studying it. Our staffs have been working very hard, and quite frankly, it isn't all that easy to figure out. It reminds me of a story that was told, and supposedly a true story, that an individual was being audited by the Federal Reserve. And they came to him and they said, we want 5 years of everything that you've ever done and every receipt you've ever had. And, of course, that made him very unhappy. So he put them all together in a bushel basket, and he dumped them. And I'll tell you what, it didn't go over very well, and he got into a lot of trouble. I'm not suggesting this is similar, but it's a story that reminds me when I look and try to figure out really what we have. It's a lot of material, and to sort this out is not easy.